two, three. One, two, three. Let's go.
Welcome everybody to a very special, unfriendly bear market edition of Teaching Crypto. This is AZcrypto and MrFOMO. MrFOMO, I was away and I'm back now, so refreshed and ready to go. And we got to talk VGX because we went down to 27 million. Our market cap up all the way to 83 million. Unthinkable 6-7 months ago, even 2-3 months ago. But the bleeding kept going. I think there's a lot of fear. Some of it's warranted, but Almeida being FTX, being Sam Ferdman, I think there is some safety there that at least VGX for the time being and for the foreseeable future is safe. But I understand the panic because people saw what happened with Luna and they don't want to be burned twice. But I'm of the belief that VGX is not going to go much lower than this, and here's why. It's easy to manipulate. When we've seen tokens before, when the market caps get this low, they're easy to manipulate in terms of pumps. What I mean is someone putting something in, getting 10% the next day, or even within the hour. I don't see us going well below. I mean, we got to 27 cents. The 20 to 25 for me is the bottom, because I just think some people are so down they're not going to sell, and even the people that are moving in and out, I see 25 as a gigantic buying opportunity. And here's why. Someone puts in $250 at 25 cents, they're getting 1,000 VGX. And at that point, getting to the 100 Maverick level is putting in $25. And I think even the person that's not heavily into crypto, that kind of knows VGX from the Mavericks, that's sold out, I think you're going to have a lot of buyers around this. And you saw a $3.5 million money over the past 24 hours going in and out. So I actually think we're close to bottom, even though BTC, we'll talk about it later in the show, still has some downside. What do you think?
I would tend to agree. As you know, I've been DCAing VGX at this level. And so I would tend to agree, but I would also like to hit on the fact that this looks and feels a lot like the Luna thing. And this is, in fact, a domino effect of that. You know, Three Arrows was a big investor in Luna. Luna crashed. Three Arrows became insolvent.
Not just an investor, part of the Luna Foundation.
Right. And so now, you know, Voyager is suffering because they gave them a sizable loan with very low collateral or no collateral. I'm not sure we've gotten any confirmation on that.
Well, they've said fraud was committed, so I think it might go deeper than just a loan. I don't want to go into too much because I would be speculating, but I don't think it was just a true loan. I think they got caught with their pants down, unfortunately.
And so and that causes a problem because I mean there's all kinds of questions that come up after that, like who is vetting these deals, who is making these deals, who, you know, has someone been at least disciplined for making this deal. But you know, when the team comes out and says, hey, we're still here, we're working hard, we're trying to get everything, that sounds a lot like what Do Kwon was saying in the week after the epic crash of Terra Luna. So, you know, it's going to come down to, one, as an investor, do you believe in the project? I think both you and I do believe long-term in this project. But then two, it comes down to they've got to put up or shut up. They've got to get those debit cards out. Like you said, the VLP program can't go through massive changes now. If it does, then there's going to be, you know, more downside. The proof is now in the pudding. You've got to come out and show us exactly what you're saying. There's no more saying, hey, we're going to open in Europe in Q1 of next year and then not having it happen. Hey, we're going to have debit cards out by the end of Q1 next year and then not have that happen. We need to see real action from this company, and not just with VGX heroes and random people on Twitter, but en masse. Like we need debit cards to go out to a lot of people, and soon. And then I think you start, once you start seeing some action, then all this speculation goes out the window. Then there's still a real company. They're still really putting the rubber to the road. But to me, they, this is pure speculation at this point. They really need to start showing me more.
Well, they're gonna. I want to know in the next couple of days. We'll know what's the earn rates for the tokens next month. Have they drastically changed? What is the 7% VGX staying? I'm assuming it is. What do we know about the debit cards? I think there's a lot to answer, and I really do hope we get some answers. It can't just be we're working. Well, they can't just say working hard. They have to release the earn rates for the tokens. So
well, I'm sure they'll do that, but for me,
but that'll tell us a lot. If USDC goes down from 9% to 4% for people holding 20,000 or less, that's going to say a lot.
Well, that's going to say a lot. But again, in order to build confidence in the project, they're going to have to start producing.
Oh yeah.
I just to save it and keep it at this level. Sure, they're going to have to maintain some of their rewards. But I think even more than that, we've got to see some action on this team's part. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot more people back out. And I don't know if that 25-cent bottom will hold.
Well, but how many people are left? I think that's now it's time to be honest. There aren't thousands and thousands of holders. Like there are people pretending to be. I think we're in the hundreds. I mean, what I'm saying, I'm not counting the people that own 100 VGX or 50 VGX. They'll hold a substantial amount of 1,000 or more. How many of those people are there? Some of those people I don't think are selling because they're so low.
I think a lot of those people are being dishonest about not selling, and I think some of those people are selling in and out of their VGX. And I would
but you're not selling if your average is above $3 and you're down several $1,000s. What sense does it sell?
No. But if you are one of those guys on Twitter that's constantly posting buys for VGX, I question if you're actually doing that.
No, we know those people are selling in
amounts too.
We know those people are selling in and out.
I think those guys are selling in and out. I think a lot of the people that say they're massive holders are being dishonest. And I would like Voyager to start doing what Coinbase does and start showing us average hold times of coins, especially VGX.
That'd be nice. I agree. And the thing I'd like to see is instead of just the performance over a year, now that the app's been older, I would love to see the performance over a lifetime of these coins instead of just a year. And that would give.
We need to be able to see more data on these coins as well. Year to date, performance over 3 year, 5 year, since the life of the coin. That kind of stuff is important, and I think Voyager falls short on that.
Now, I want to get into BTC really quickly. We're at 20,000, a little over 20,300. I think people need to be aware. July 13th, inflation rate comes out. There's a lot politically. This is probably not the show to bring that up because I don't want to lose any of the 67 subscribers we have. I want to go up, not down. But there could be a black swan event this summer before the end of August that could bring us even lower, whether it be a political event or a inflation number. We still could see. You've talked about the miners not making money. I mean, I've talked about 17, 16, 15 is not out of the question. And I don't think this is going to happen. I think it's far-fetched. Is it impossible we see 10,000 BTC next year? It's not. I don't think it's a very high probability at all. But the way people have been selling off, I guess it's mathematically possible. I never thought about saying that because you have the Tesla BTC, you have the Michael Saylor BTC, you've got but remember at 13K, Celsius gets liquidated. So that to me is a number that I would watch very carefully.
More money to chop it down.
And so then VGX, then we really test VGX big time, right?
The whole market gets tested. We get down You see some of these projects are going to struggle to maintain themselves.
And so I don't, unfortunately, if we're on a roller coaster, I don't think we've gotten to the bottom yet. and if you want to let the roller coaster analogy, we're going to have to get back on, get back in line, and then go up again. We're still riding. We're still on our way down, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we've even gotten off of this vomit comet yet. I think we're still looking for a bottom. We're still riding these, because I mean, you have these short spikes up above 21, and it gives people this sort of euphoria and this idea, oh, we're going up. But really, people need to take all that with a grain of salt and maybe start looking at things. Look at the window that it's dodging between.
Well,
and then when it gets to 21 or pushes even 22, maybe look to take profits. I don't know.
But when we do get a downturn, I talked about, remember, Wi-Fi, DeFi money last show, and I said, listen, when something's at a market cap at less than 15 million, and it has high volume, and the volume was 34 million, I believe, around the show, it went all the way, went up to 2,337. Now it's back down to 924. But that was over a 220% at one point gain. If you, congratulations, if you watched the show and put a couple hundred downs on Wi-Fi money, we're smart enough to take profits over the weekend. You made some nice little cash. Within the bear market, there are sometimes these, especially these low caps. It doesn't take much, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
doesn't take much at all.
I'm looking at it right now. It's a very interesting coin. Now the market cap has gone up significant. It's back to 37 million, so it's not easy to move. But once a market cap gets below 20 million, you get a volume of 10 to 20 million, and easily it can go up 30 to 50 to 100% within 3 or 4 days. Again, these are high risks, and like I said, we're not financial advisors. But for the people that are like, you know what, I'm going to play it safe and DCA $10 here, $10 there. But if we do go down to 15, I'm going to look at something like Wi-Fi and DeFi money when it gets back down to a 20 or 50 million market cap and see what happens. Again, these are always risky. But StormX not that long ago was in the 50 million market cap. I see it's up to 70 million market cap, which again is amazing. VGX is down to 83. That's why I think there's a level it's not going to go below, because I think there are some holders that are just not going to, they may sell some, but they're not going to sell all. And there's still, if you look at the numbers, there are people's averages that are in the threes, some of them still in the fours. And the twos even is a long way away. I don't see the purpose in selling at 30 cents unless you think it's going to zero and you want to salvage what you have left. But the reason why I don't think this is a Luna situation is you really can't compare Daquan to Steve and Sam from FTX. I think that's, and I think,
well, yeah,
I think Almeida, had they not gotten the loan from Almeida and the loan from someone else, you don't know, Sam is the guy that owns Almeida and FTX. He and the owner of Binance are probably the two most powerful people in crypto, I would say. I'd put them up there with anybody. And if Sam wants something to succeed, it's probably going to succeed.
And I'll make a prediction about Sam Bankman-Fried. I think one day, if even his prediction comes true and the United States has a crypto czar, I would imagine that at some point his name will be brought up, if not him being the crypto czar straight away, just because of his reach and his knowledge and his ability to, like you said, keep some of these companies going. His history of honesty and effectiveness. So
wait, are you saying it's not going to be BitBoy Crypto? That's shocking.
No, he will continue to be the Alex Jones of crypto.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
But you pointed out something about market caps, and if you look at, and I can't bring it up on the screen right now, but if you look at something like Harvest Finance over the last week, you'll see that in the middle on the 25th, it spiked to 59 from a low.
That's it. There's low caps. It's 25 million right now.
25 million cap right now, but it spiked all the way up, and you saw quite a quite an opportunity to make a little bit of money in that short term.
Well, once you these low caps, it doesn't take a lot of money to move.
And I think, but that's why I think that speaks to your point, is if you just look around the low caps a little bit, you can find these instances of.
What about your Eternity chain? What about
What's
Eternity chain? I mean, that's another one.
Same. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these projects are so low right now that they, like you said, they just lend themselves to that type of manipulation.
I mean, if the people in the project have done their math correctly and it can't go down to zero because they've saved some of the supply, it's actually staked or it's actually put away, like they say, then when it gets to these low market caps, I mean, you are not necessarily in real life friends, but you are computer friends with Simon from StormX. I'd love to have you on, Simon. I mean, if he's telling the truth about StormX going nowhere, when StormX gets to 50 million, it's a good buy if you want to do a flip. And we haven't done a flip episode. I think what we're waiting for, honestly, to tell our viewers is to see how low BTC gets in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And if we do see a significant dump down to 16 or 17 or 15, we will do our bear market draft. And remember, that doesn't mean that 15 is necessarily or 16 is the bottom. It just means I feel like we're getting closer and closer. I feel like
it would present
as time goes on,
fantastic opportunity to do a draft.
Yeah, it's as time goes on, and we might have some viewers that haven't put any money in yet. And congratulations, boy, do you have a great opportunity over the next year and a half.
Yeah,
to get in on some amazing prices, because I do think a lot of these projects in the top 50 will survive because the people running them have been responsible. Polkadot, eGold, I'm just naming a few. Those, even as much as I don't like it, ADA is not going to collapse to zero.
But it's always
Avalanche.
Always
They're
a
not
good
going
idea to keep your eye on things. Once you've invested in something, or even if you're interested in investing in something, keep your eye on it. Set up news alerts. Set up alerts on Coin Market.
And if you do get in, let's say you buy Chili's today, and 2 weeks from now it's up 20%. You have to seriously consider taking your profits, because you'll get another chance to buy lower for the next year and a half. Don't feel like, oh, I'm up 20%, but I could be up 200% 2 years from now. That is true, but we're telling you from experience, don't be afraid to pull that trigger. You can always come back in. Things are not going up. We're not starting a bull run anytime soon. It's just the earliest we could start would be 2023 in advance of the halving. And even that's kind of optimistic, unless we have some amazing event. Let's say that a country decides, you know what, we're putting Bitcoin on our ledger. We're going to make a massive buy. We're going to front run it like Luna was trying to do. That's the only way I see things going crazy. But right now, we haven't even brought up the war. and so that's going on. So there's just
environment is still too tough to predict. So yeah, we still definitely could go down.
And we did have the news before we leave that some exchanges are lying. We know about Voyager and Celsius and BlockFi, but apparently there are some others that have been hiding how much money they've lost, and that's going to come out, and that's going to be a couple bad days. So I think we've got a long way to go.
Yeah, strap in.
But listen, if you have not gone in, you can earn $50 free of Bitcoin right now. So look at our codes below, and if you're interested, I would say, you know what, $50 of Bitcoin right now is not bad at 20,000. So just consider it if you are thinking about it. And again, one more time before we leave, you can start off by just investing $10, guys. It doesn't have to be hundreds or thousands. You could put $10. In fact, when I DCA now, I'm going in low of my targets, and I'm building over time because I know I have the time. I'm not in a rush. So that's the one good thing about a bear, is you really can take your time. You don't have to worry about Avalanche going back to 100 next Wednesday. You have months. It's not. I wish it was happening, Avalanche folks, but eGold is not going back to 500 on Friday nights. It would be lovely, but not going to happen. But yeah, it's not going to happen. So we will see you guys later this week. We're getting closer to the 4th of July. We're going to have another special show coming up. Please hit that like and subscribe. Send it out to your friends. We don't have enough subscribers for the content we're giving you guys. This is an honest, real show where we've given you winners. We've given you real advice. So Again, hit that like. Please, whoever's watching this, send it to a friend. Let's at least get over 70 by the next show. For AZcrypto, for Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. Have a great day.
See ya.